Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, also welcome. Today I wanted to, there are a few things that I want to do here. I want to go over some new makeup that I'm excited about. I want to share that with you. I recently went on a podcast and I asked you in my community tab to throw out some like topics that you might want me to discuss, and we got to very little. And I got a lot of responses, so I wanted to address some of those. Whoops. And also I have just like a little announcement at the end of the video. So that's what we're doing. I'm just gonna jump right into it. I wanna start off, first of all, with new makeup that I'm excited about. So Kosas recently launched this blush that I was super excited about when I got the PR box. I did receive this in PR. They have 2, 3, 4, 5, oh god, 5, 6, 7 or 8 shades, I think. I'll insert just like a little video of me applying it because I just like instantly fell in love. I kind of knew that I was gonna love the formula as soon as I saw them, and all the colors are really gorgeous. Formulas are so beautiful. Like they have such a nice like luminosity to them. I don't know how well you can see. I'm not wearing any highlighter today. I'm wearing the blush, you know? And it just like creates such a beautiful dimension and color. And I just kind of didn't feel like I needed highlighter, you know? Like I feel like my skin in general like looks really nice. This base looks really nice. And the luminosity that the blush creates is just like, it's very, very fine and glowy. There's nothing, you know, no chunky glitter or anything like that. If you look at it, it kind of just looks like a soft satin matte. You don't really even see any kind of pearl in the product itself, which I love. Because you know what? I also recently received the NARS blushes, which like I'm not against. I'm also kind of excited about these. I haven't tried them yet, so I didn't want to like throw them in this video, but now I'm talking about them, so whatever. They sent me a peach, this like very, very cool toned bluish pink, and then NARS Orgasm, which I know that I think that they reformulated a really long time ago. I remember NARS Orgasm was everybody's obsession for years and years, and I never used it. But I don't know how well you can see here. Do you see those big chunks of gold pearl? I was really surprised. I swatched it, and there's just like big chunks of gold glitter, and it feels, I don't know, it feels like the formula feels really dry to me. I haven't tried it on my face, so I'm not going to know until I actually like try it there. But I was just a little turned off by that in particular. When I swatch it, it feels dry and I don't know, just like there's too much pearl. So when I compared it to these blushes, I was like, ooh, I just have a feeling I'm gonna love these a lot more. I also really like the shades that they have come out with. The formulas are so much softer than you think they're gonna be, especially for a baked, like sometimes a baked blush can just be intense because it's not loose. You know, I don't know how to describe this. Sometimes the formula itself is so baked, so hard, so like, you know what I mean? That you have to really get in there with your brush and then you end up with too much pigment. This formula is very, very soft. So what I like about it is that it's not going to be too pigmented. I don't like a blush that's too pigmented. When it comes to the deeper, more vibrant shades, I don't know how it's going to translate for deeper skin. I know that a lot of people who have deeper skin typically prefer formulas that do have more pigment because they don't necessarily show up as well on their skin. So if you have deeper skin and you pick any of these up, I would love to hear what you think about that. In terms of my skin tone, you know, obviously it's a little bit easier to use a sheer blush and be able to utilize the rest of the shade, like all of the shades. So if there is an undertone or some kind of a tone that you're attracted to and you have like more light skin, it's versatile. You can sheer it out so you can get away with using like deeper shades, you know what I mean? Personally, I think that the formula is really nice and it works really well with what I'm looking for. So I'm super excited about these. Like I said, I'm only wearing those 2 colors. I did kind of like the deeper one a little lower into the contour and then popped the peach like a little bit up higher and then onto the apple of the cheek a little bit. And I just love the way it looks. I think it's so pretty and I think I'm really getting into blush. I think I'm late to this craze, but I'm really getting into blush. Like I'm following my Sabrina Carpenter video that I did, like the makeup that I recreated. Next up are the Makeup by Mario. What are these even called? Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serums. Okay, this is a product that I didn't know it was coming out. I wasn't necessarily super excited about it when I got the package, but I was a little bit interested because, oh Jesus, one of the things that I really like about it is it has the pump, okay? If you want to like pump out some, put it on the back of your hand, I don't know, use a sponge or use a brush to like create more of an all over color, but it also has a doe foot. And the doe foot has a little hole in it, so it comes out here. And I just feel like that's so, I just really like that. I like that a lot. So it gives you the option to be able to like draw it on your face if you want to, which is how I used it today. Let me go over the colors with you real quick. Fair is pretty cool toned, I would say. You know, I used Fair today to do a little bit of like shaping and contouring to my face. It's very, very soft. It is very much a serum. This is light medium, which is what I used to bronze because it's a little bit warmer. Again, it's a very, very sheer formula, so it was pretty easy for me to use. In fact, I actually went in and reinforced with a little bit of a powder bronzer. So when it comes to these, they are very much a serum. This is for people who feel like really pigmented makeup is not for them. Maybe it's just too much. Maybe you're looking for something that's easy to blend and really, really sheer. This is for you, okay? I also just wanted to say, when you look at the product, you see those chunks of pearl, right? That was in the foundation as well. And I really didn't like the Makeup by Mario foundation. It just didn't, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I did not like the chunks of pearl. I felt that it ended up looking, it made my skin look too textured. It just didn't work well with my skin. However, despite this having the same thing, I actually think it works better in this product because it's much more sheer. And maybe it's because it's a product that I'm not using like in problem areas like my T-zone, you know? So despite the fact that I'm using it in areas where I do have like some breakouts, I feel like the fact that it's a little bit more of a serum product, I can get away with it. I don't know. I feel like that pearl translates better in this product. I just wanted to say Fair is cool toned. Light medium is more warm toned, and then the light shade is more of like a neutral color. So, so yeah, I would say if you're fair warm, then this is gonna be more of a contour color for you, depending on like how you like to shape the face. I wouldn't use this as a bronzer. I mean, like, if I compare this to my skin, like it's very, very cool toned, which is why I used it to contour. I also used it to contour my nose and around my lips. You could probably tell that the contours in these areas are a little bit more like soft than they usually are. In fact, I just kind of like blended my nose contour with my finger. Same with the contour around my lips. So I like these a lot. I think that they're impactful while remaining very, very like wearable and simple to use. They might look a little bit like intimidating. I don't know, because of the component or whatever, or if contouring and bronzing seems like overwhelming to you, but the formula itself is really easy to work with. In fact, when I used the doe foot and I kind of just like dotted it on my skin, it didn't do that thing that a lot of like serum formulas do where it starts to dry up and set quickly. I don't know if you guys have had that experience, especially putting it on top of a foundation. Sometimes it can like be a little too runny, and then it can end up like creating like a little bit of a patch where it removes the coverage of your foundation. I didn't have that problem with these at all. I would like dot, go in and blend, and it was completely fine. I wasn't obviously letting it sit there for too long, but it wasn't removing product. So I'm very excited about these. I'm gonna be using them on the regular because I think that they create a really beautiful natural finish. So if you're interested, they have my stamp of approval so far. Next, this is super random. I'm doing a collaboration with JCPenney Beauty right now, and one of the products that I was introduced to by them were these NYX Marshmallow products. So it's a marshmallow setting spray, which is nice. It's a matte finish setting spray, and the marshmallow primer, which is mostly what I want to talk about. So the only thing about these is that they're heavily scented. They smell like marshmallow, okay? Or like kind of a cotton candy scent. They are very, very scented. So if you're super sensitive to that kind of thing, you might not like them. But I just wanted to say, I do really like the setting spray. It's definitely matte. Like if you're looking for a nice setting spray that's like affordable, you know, it's NYX. They also have like the regular matte setting spray. You don't need the marshmallow one. It's like a little bit more of a kitschy kind of thing. But the primer, It has marshmallow root. I don't know enough about it, but I love it. It's so nice. It's like such a nice combination of, let me show you. It's a nice, so it comes out like that, like white, and kind of thick, and it's such a nice combination of hydrating and like blurring. I don't know how well you guys can see from this, but it's like somewhere between a hydrating primer and a pore filling primer. So like when I'm touching it, it's almost got like a little bit of like a mousse feel to it. And it takes a second to kind of like work into the skin. What I did was I blended it onto my skin, and then when it was like close to being fully blended, I would pat so that I'm filling my pores. And I just love the finish of it. Like I don't know. The scent's like, the scent doesn't bother me. That like sweet scent doesn't really like bother me. So I think it's fine, and I really love the formula. I would obviously prefer it without the scent, just because like typically I prefer things that are unscented. So I don't know how this compares to any of their other primers, but it just creates like a really beautiful, like, I don't know if you can see that, like a healthy glow to the skin without, oh my God, without making you look oily or creating like too much oil in problem areas, you know? So I feel like I can get away with using it all over my face. Like I used it in my T-zone. Especially, the skincare journey will never end. I was using, it doesn't even matter what I was using, but I'm peeling again, all right? A little bit on my nose, like in here, like the sensitive areas. It hydrated those areas so that I don't have like a ton of peeling, like dry, flaky skin, but it doesn't look oily. Like my skin doesn't look oily at all, which I love, you know? Especially because since I have some peeling skin around my nostril, I didn't set with powder there because I didn't want to draw attention to that. And I don't think it looks, there's like a little bit of a glow in this area, but I don't think it looks oily. You know what I mean? Like it looks balanced so that it doesn't look like greasy, doesn't look dry and flaky. I'm happy with it. Next up, Wonder Skin is a brand that I feel like I've just been sleeping on for a really long time. I've received some of their stuff in PR. I'm trying to remember how long ago. Maybe like years ago. I don't know. But they have the Wonder Blading lip masks. They have a bunch of different colors, and what's really nice about these is they have nude colors. I have a lot of Korean lip stains, and they're pretty much always like, you know, pink or peach, or there's like a red tone to them. It's not the easiest to find a nude lip stain, you know? These stain, okay? I'm gonna swatch them for you. You have to like let them sit. So for instance, this one is, what color? It's called Whimsical. This is the little sticker. I'll show you what that's the shade sticker. I'll show you what the actual shade looks like, but when you open it up, it looks like this purple, you know? So I'll do swatches on the back of my hand. You have to let them sit for a while. So it's the kind of thing that you want to put on your lips, like at the beginning of your makeup while you're doing everything else, to let it really sit. You just want to make sure that you're applying it like relatively evenly. So that dark purple one is Whimsical, and then this one is XOXO, which is supposed to be like a light nude. And that comes out basically the same. It's like maybe a more blue purple. Just looks a little bit more sheer. They have kind of like a baby wipe scent, which I don't love, but you know. Basically what you do is you let it like sit, and then I don't know how long you're supposed to do it for. I can't remember how long it said. I would just do this at the beginning of my makeup and just let it sit for like the entirety of my makeup, and then at the end remove. So basically you just like wipe it off, wipe it clean with like a damp cloth or something like that. So I'll show you those once they've set, but obviously the longer you let it set, the like deeper the pigment's gonna be. The other products that I was really interested in by them are their, what is this one? Oh, that's a top gloss. Their brow blading something. Brow stain, Wonder Blading Brow Stain and Go. They sent me blonde and brunette, and I don't know if I love the applicator. Like, it's this angled brush. It says to draw on clean skin to draw short strokes. Okay, so like brush up your brow hairs and like draw short strokes. It's not easy to create hair-like strokes because it's relatively thick. I actually don't think it works best that way. I tried doing strokes and it just didn't really seem super effective. I personally think that the best way to use this is to literally just draw it, like paint it on underneath your brow hairs and let it sit. When I used this for the first time, I used both. I used blonde in the inner part of my brow, and then I used brunette towards the, you know, outer part where it's a little bit more sparse. I think they said like leave it on for like a couple minutes or whatever, and then basically the same thing as the lip stain, just kind of like wipe it clean. And then the longer you leave it, the longer it'll stain. I think I left it for like maybe 5 minutes, and I didn't really see that much of a stain. But it was there. So I think it would be kind of one of those things where on like a natural day when I don't feel like doing my brows first thing in the morning after I like wash my face, just throw this on and let it stain, you know, and then wipe it off after like 20 minutes or something. I'll keep you updated on this. I am super interested in it. I like the idea, but I'm not using it exactly the way that they said because I just don't think that the short like hair-like strokes is effective or makes an impact really. And I guess I'm just curious to see like how long it lasts, because when I swatched these on my hand, I did the hair-like strokes and I feel like they kind of removed after a while, like they faded after a while, but the lip stains stayed. So I'm really excited about the lip stains, and I guess I'm curious about the brows. I'm curious. If anyone's tried them, let me know what you think. I just haven't given like them a super fair shot yet. Speaking of lip products, Half Magic just came out with these little guys. They're so freaking cute. These are, what are these called? The Lip Snuggle High Pigment Oil Balms. So obviously when I saw this, when they first posted that it was like an oil, I was like, okay, we have so many lip oils. Like there are so many lip oils out there. I already talked to you about how much I was anticipating not liking the Summer Fridays lip oils, which I fell in love with. So I try to keep an open mind. But when people are just constantly coming out with like the same products, it starts to get a little old, right? However, these are supposed to be high pigment, okay? A little note from Donnie. Donnie said, Alexandra, don't worry. This isn't another sheer lip balm. I was like, okay, thank you. So it's definitely high pigment. It says that they are supposed to last 12-hour hydration and cozy comfort formula. So I do love the shades. They have a bunch of nude shades for fair to deep skin. Here's Hail to the Cocoa. So it does have a little like fluffy applicator, one of these things, which I don't usually love, but I'll accept it. And then you just like, you know, boop it out. Just boop it out. And it is very high pigment. So you can use the applicator to kind of like softly buff it out, which I think is what they're meant for. At least that's how I would probably use them, you know? You can really, see? They're definitely pigmented, like a lot. You can build up a lot of pigment, but you can use the soft applicator to like really shear it out, which is, I think, personally the way that I would want to use them, because they are small, so a little bit goes a long way. So yeah, these aren't like something that's going to set down and dry, obviously. It's hydrating, but I like the idea of using them as kind of like a sheer blotted looking lip color. For instance, I'm trying to remember which color I liked best. Was it Fawn? No, Fawn's a little brown. Say Purr? I feel like I'm missing one. Maybe it was Say Purr. Ooh, yeah, that's a nice color. See? They are very pigmented, and they definitely give like a hydrated look, and you can just kind of like really, really softly shear it out with the applicator, which is what I appreciate about it. Because I don't love that kind of applicator, but look at how effectively it blends, it shears that out, you know? So that's the same color. You can really build up the pigment, or you can really, really shear it out with the applicator. So I like that. I think it's nice. I haven't really used them. I've only swatched them, but I'm excited about them. So I thought that I would share. Plus, I like how tiny they are. Easy for on the go. I almost exclusively only use tiny bags. And look at how cute the little packaging is. Little kittens. Little fluffy yellow kittens. That's an easy way. That's an easy way to get my attention. Oh, also from Wonder Brow, I just wanted to share these because these are also things that I have tried in the past that I feel like I haven't really like talked about. Maybe I've used them in videos. They just sent me these lip contour lip liners. The colors look really nice. Color? Oh, blush and saddle. But the whole point of their stuff is that it's supposed to be like, it's gonna last. It's supposed to last and stay put. The formulas seem nice. So saddle's the darker one, saddle and blush. And I just thought that the colors looked really pretty. I like blush a lot as just like a neutral lip liner, you know, for my skin tone. It's a little pink, but I've been kind of like leaning into that, you know, if you look at what I'm wearing right now. And when you swatch them, they really stay put. Like instantly, they just kind of set and they have like a waxy kind of feel, but it's still soft. It's not too waxy. So I don't know, I'm interested. One thing that I have used from them are their eyeliners, which I think are really, really great. And again, because they're meant to last, they really do like set and stay put. So they're soft and you can blend, but once they set, they're there, okay? And I know a lot of people are constantly having problems with like putting eyeliner in their waterline or in their tight line or just in general, like wearing eyeliner and it ends up disappearing. So if you have that problem, and there are other products that you've tried that haven't worked, it might be worth giving these a shot. I do wish that they had more bright colors because they have a lot of dark colors. They do have a pale pink that I saw Ziva grab off the table and she's been hitting it around on the floor, so it's somewhere over there right now. But in terms of like bright colors, I don't actually know that they have any. I just kind of see these, but if you're looking for something that's going to stay put, this and also the KVD eyeliners. I would say that they're relatively similar, but I haven't used them back to back, so I can't like definitively say, but yeah, they might be worth looking into. All right, I'm gonna wipe this off now. So it hasn't been that long. Ooh, so see how the purple just comes off? Little like purple flakes kind of come off, and then look. Isn't that so nice? Look at those colors, they're so pretty. I really like those. So this is obviously the lighter one and this was the deeper one. I think this was Whimsical. So, and obviously like the longer you leave them, the more it's going to stain. It's gonna be a little bit more pigmented. I think when I did this last, like when I swatched them on my hand, I let them sit for a while. So it was a little bit more pigmented than this, but they really stayed put, which I loved. So this is, again, just like the brow product, something that I'm gonna be really interested in using. I might use both of them. Like I might do a little like lining with Whimsical and then go in with, what's the light one called? XOXO is the light one. I just love those colors. I think they're really beautiful. They're like a nice mid nude for my skin tone. They would look really pretty. Like they're really just giving what's going on my lips right now, you know? So I'm excited about those. Another brand that I have not used enough that I'm kind of obsessed. Like I'm obsessed with their stuff. I just like haven't sat down and really used them is Carla Cosmetics. They just sent me some little, like a glitter, a little, I don't know what you would call that, pigment or something? A little duochrome pigment in the shade Nightfall, which I actually think I might already have. It's kind of like an opalescent color. And then they sent me this little palette, Sleepyhead palette. So first of all, I always love a color like this. I don't know if you can tell, but I like that kind of blue. It's like a little bit more turquoise, you know? Oh, love it. And then their little, like the black I could honestly do without. I just have so many black eyeshadows, but this color right here is so creamy. Look at that. Look at that. Are you kidding me? I don't know how well you can see in the pan. You see all those shifts? From like lilac to blue. Ooh, so nice and so soft. Look, 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 look. Ooh, I love it. So nice. They have such beautiful like duochromes and they feel so soft on the skin. These are really great if you want something like obviously super high impact, but you can sheer them out a little bit. They're still gonna look pretty glittery. And then they also have like a glitter shade here that's slightly different. I think it's like more of a topper. It's a slightly different formula. Look at that. Ooh, oh, look, do you see that? Do you see that? That's like a sunbeam right there. Oh, so pretty. I love it. So I'm excited about these. Let me know if you want to see like any looks with that in the future. Just love. I really need to dip into these kinds of formulas a little bit more because I know people love to see them and I love to play with them. And I've been telling you, I need to do eye looks. I need to do a lot of eye looks. So please request colorful tutorials. But yeah, I just need to give them more of a shot. So I'm excited about those. Just trying to remove makeup with a dry paper towel. Not effective. What else am I excited about? Oh, you know what else I'm excited about? I recently bought this. I've received this, I think, maybe a couple times in PR, and I've been a little, sorry, Patrick, I've been a little nervous to try it because I just feel like the ingredients freak me out a little bit. Like I know that there's a lot of alcohol in it. It's supposed to be, well, obviously it's the On Till Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. This is supposed to be like legit in terms of like making your makeup last. I haven't had an opportunity where I was like, I want to try this, you know? Honestly, I haven't worn makeup in like a minute. So I just haven't had that opportunity. So I'm excited about it because I started thinking about it. There have been events where I want my makeup to stay. This happened a lot during the pandemic when we first started like going back to events and you would have to wear a mask when you got there and then they would like, you know, what were they doing? Some of them were like testing us and then sometimes they would just do like a forehead, what's that thing called? Temperature check or whatever. But you would have to like wear the mask in the Uber and you would wear a mask when you got to the event. And I was trying so hard not to like screw up my makeup. So what I would do is set my face with hairspray. Like, you know, old trick. I think I remember hearing Candy Johnson talk about that like forever ago, like with the advent of YouTube beauty tutorials using hairspray to like make your makeup last. This is essentially, if you spray it, that's what it smells like. It smells like hairspray. Yeah, it's basically hairspray for your face. So anyway, I'm excited about it because there are those times where you need to just like set your face and not have it move, you know? This is not something that I would use every time I do my makeup, but I don't know, I'm pretty like excited about it. Has anyone used it? I bought a couple minis too, just because you never know, you know what I mean? I think that's everything I'm excited about. Oh, no, you know what? I'll throw this in there. The Fenty Beauty Foundation, the newest one. This is shade 140, which I think is a really good match. I chose, they reached out to me to send me the PR, and I chose 3 shades. And it's funny because like on the website, the description and the shade finder, I was like, I thought it would be one of the other shades. 130 maybe? I can't remember, but 140 seems to be the best match for my skin tone. So if you're close to me, 140. I know shopping online is really, really difficult. So this is a soft lit, naturally luminous longwear foundation. I personally never liked the first foundation. I really tried, because it was groundbreaking in so many ways. You know, when she dropped that first foundation with all those shades and just like just leveled up the expectation for basically every other makeup brand. It was groundbreaking. Excuse me, it's dry in here. But I never really got into the formula. And to be honest, the formula, the foundations that I did try that I thought were the best matches for me were just a little too yellow, like too yellow toned for my skin, and I'm pretty yellow. This shade does seem to be really nice. I tried it, I'm trying to remember when I wore it, but I used it not that long ago and I kind of instantly fell in love. The first one was matte, right? Maybe it was that. Maybe it was just the fact that it was matte. I don't know. But this formula is beautiful. I really, really liked it. It's definitely worth giving a shot if you didn't like the first one and you like something a little bit more hydrating. I didn't find it definitely is hydrating. I didn't find it to be too oily for my skin. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of instantly loved it. I thought that the coverage was really nice. I don't know, I'm gonna keep you, this isn't like, none of these products are like a hard, I'm obsessed with this, like you need to buy it. All of these products I'm excited about and I'm gonna continue to use, basically. And that's kind of how I'm feeling about this, which is why I'm throwing it in here. But yeah, first impression, kind of loved it. Kind of loved it. When it comes to shade matching, I haven't done like comparisons of new foundations that I have received and have been testing. I haven't done shade comparisons against my About Face or my Lisa Eldridge 2.5. As I build up more foundations, like if I decide to do a foundation video at some point, I will give you swatches so that you can compare for new foundations that are coming out, you know what I mean? Because like I said, 2.5, About Face, what shade is this? F2 Olive, I don't know why I always forget that. Fair 2 Olive. So good, like such close matches. But yeah, it works. It works. It works. I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing a Bare Minerals foundation, which I actually also really like, but I'm not gonna put that in here. But yeah, anyway, those are the products that I'm excited for. I shall be using them more. I wanted to go over some of the stuff that I asked you guys in my community tab because I didn't get a chance. Like I did, if you missed it, I did my friend's podcast. Caroline Winkler has a podcast with her friend Jess DeBakey, and they invited me to be a guest on it, and I went on, and we kind of just like, you know, talked about random stuff. But I specifically asked you, wait, why can I not minimize this? Thank you. I specifically asked you on my community tab what you would want me to talk about. And there was a lot of stuff on there that was great that we didn't get a chance to talk about. So the first, I'm just gonna go through like I guess the top comments. So how do you have a social media career without losing your mind? I answered this one on the podcast. What annual event has the strongest influence on makeup trends? Is it celeb looks or fashion week, etc.? First of all, I'm the wrong person to ask this question because I am late to every trend. Okay, even if I know, even I hear the little whispers about this stuff going on out there in the influencer world, I will not participate until it's far over with. Like it's been done to death and no one cares anymore. That's how I do things. On makeup trends, I don't really know. It seems to be kind of like I would say makeup trends come and go very much, just like any other trend happens. So obviously, like we can talk about 2016. For a while, it was like the biggest, like super smoky eye and like super sculpted lip and super contoured and like winged liner that could like chop people's heads off, right? And like dark, like I don't know, sculpted brows, all of that stuff. It was like the most. And then slowly we started to get like sick of doing the most, and then started moving more towards like soft everyday, like model off duty type makeup where you're like not really trying, you're not super sculpted, you know, like everything is soft. I don't know that things like Fashion Week really create makeup trends. I feel like it's a little bit more what are people sick of doing, you know? And then obviously like what brands are launching has a lot to do with it as well. No makeup trend is like a brand new thing. Everything has been done before for decades and decades and decades. You know what I mean? Like all of this stuff has all pretty much been done before. People pick up makeup trends from like the drag world, if like makeup tips and stuff. Or someone will kind of like repackage a trend that has already happened, or it's not necessarily that like cynical, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily that like nefarious. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I'm gonna do this video and I'm gonna call it this thing. Like for instance, Sunset Blush has kind of like had a revival, which like it's been done. But in particular, I'm thinking of that like one video. I follow her, I can't remember her name, but like Sunset Blush, right? So like sunset colors. And that video went viral, you know, and people were seeing it, and then everybody was like, oh, let's all do Sunset Blush, right? So it's something that has happened before in the past, but now it's just having a resurgence because it's on the internet and whatever, you know? Like the latte makeup look it was called something, it was packaged and it was called something. It was really just kind of like a smoky eye. And it was like close to your contour color or your bronzer color or whatever, kind of like a bronze smoky eye. But it was given a name. I don't know, I'm rambling now. I honestly don't know what like is the biggest thing for makeup trends. I would personally say it's definitely not Fashion Week, because I feel like the makeup that happens at Fashion Week, sometimes it's like super crazy and intense and people don't pick it up. Sometimes it's really, really soft. I don't know. What do you think? What do you people think? This person said, I would love to hear about anything, but I'm curious about your setup for your channel. What did you find essential when starting your YouTube journey in terms of lights, camera? Did you use your iPhone ever, etc.? Yeah, so when I first started YouTube was back in 2016, and I just sat in front of my living room window and I had an iPhone 5 and I just filmed on my iPhone. I'm pretty sure I would like tape it to a tripod that I had. That was my dad's old tripod. And I just hung up a twin size black sheet that I got at Target as my backdrop. So it was just like, you know, I worked with the lighting that I had, obviously sitting in front of a window, which was great lighting, big window, lots of light. And then my iPhone, you know, so no mic, no camera, nothing like that. And then I kind of slowly started to research like what cameras are people, like once I had some money to spend, I started researching like what cameras people were using. I ended up getting the Canon E80D, right? Yeah, Canon E80D, I think. And then I just used that and the zoom lens that it came with. I got that on Amazon. I've purchased lights here and there, all from Amazon. Sometimes they were from the brand Neewer. I feel like I think that's how you say it. Neewer, Neewer. Some other random like panel lights. It was a very, very slow process. I didn't use a mic for a really long time. I was editing on iMovie for a long time. It wasn't until I met my boyfriend who works in production who was like, okay, we're upgrading your camera, we're upgrading your well, no, that's not entirely true. When I had the E80D, I started researching prime lenses. If you go back, there's like a jump in quality in my filming quality, but I'm not able to zoom. So all of my stuff is like pretty zoomed in because I was using a prime lens, which means you can't zoom, it's a fixed lens, but the quality on them is so nice. So my camera quality looked great, but I was still using no microphone, so just the camera audio, which isn't fantastic. Now I use a Sennheiser mic, and I have an EOS R, and I have a zoom lens, a Canon zoom lens, whatever. I've got lights, it took me a while to like figure out my setup for what I want exactly. It looks like, it's totally just like, I just kind of learned things as I went. Like, I think I need this kind of thing. Does this thing exist? For instance, my hair lights, like I have hair lights. Can you see those? Because my hair always looked really dark when I was filming, and I have this like bleach blonde hair, but it would look really dark. And I was like, I don't like that. So I got this weird, crazy contraption that everything is connected to my desk. And I've got these little lights that are up behind me. Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. What was the question? Yeah, so there wasn't like, obviously being able to film was like the essential thing, which is why I used my iPhone. And then just slow, and honestly with like shorts and stuff like that, and the quality of phones these days, you can absolutely start a YouTube channel with that. You should not feel like you need amazing quality like filming equipment, because I would say, despite the fact that like I have a really nice camera and a really nice mic now, the rest of the stuff that I'm using is not like amazing quality. Like I got all of it on Amazon, you know? If you want to start something, just start it. Just start it. Doesn't matter what you have, because otherwise you're never gonna be ready. You know what I mean? You're gonna like create all of these like, oh, I have to wait until I have this thing and this thing needs to be perfect. And another thing about YouTube, who cares about production? You know what I mean? Like the fact that I just like zoomed that out and you could see my hair lights, isn't that kind of fun to be able to see like the behind the scenes? Which I'm not gonna show you any more than that because this place it looks like a makeup bomb went off. Like I don't even want to talk about it. I'm only showing you so much. But that's like the point of YouTube, dude, is to just like, you know, I don't know, sit on your floor and set up your camera and like talk to it, or set up your phone or whatever. Okay, that was a rant. I don't know. Where did you learn all of your makeup tips? I got mine from you. Oh my God, thank you. So I'm curious to know where you got yours. Your makeup is always so stunning. Stop it, Lil Who Fairy. Thank you very much. My makeup, I learned basically from just kind of like trial and error, you know, just like trying things. Obviously, I feel like I was very, very late to the YouTube tutorial game. Like, I don't remember what year it was that I actually started watching them in. I saw them here and there starting in 2013, but I wasn't watching them regularly, you know? Like, I feel like I would come across I wasn't like actively watching YouTube at that point in time. Sometimes I would see a Carly Bible video or something, or like a Chloe Morello video, or Candy Johnson, or Nicole Guerrero, you know, like all the OGs. I would like come across a video here and there, but it wasn't something that I was watching regularly. I was mostly just on Instagram, which was before videos. It was just photos. And I would like look at the description. We would always like post what we were using in the description. If I was interested in products, I would check the description of like other people who posted and check those out. And then just kind of like mess around, you know? And then like 2014 and 15, I feel like I started watching more YouTube tutorials. So I started learning a little bit more from like Jaclyn Hill. And that's when I started watching Desi and Katie and Crispy. Who else? So I was picking up tips and stuff from other, you know, from beauty YouTubers. Because at the time I wasn't anybody. I mean, I was just like messing around with my makeup when I got home from work, and I would post little things on Instagram. So yeah, it was really just like trial and error. But you have to remember that like I always had a background in art. And so my interest in art, drawing and painting, which I always was drawing the face. So I had like, I think a pretty good understanding of like anatomy. Also went to school for figure painting. Like I painted figures. So it was always just like anatomy in general was an interest of mine. So I had that background, and then I just sort of like started translating it into makeup. So there were some technical things that I learned from like YouTube videos, but like for the most part, I was just kind of playing, you know, playing with products. So when I say it's trial and error, I really mean it. Like I can sit here and tell you, I can show you so many things, but your skill level, your skin type, your preference, all of those things are going to come into combination. And you're not just going to be able to take what I say and then immediately like be able to do it. You're gonna have to try and fail and like make mistakes, and that's how you're gonna learn. I'm a firm believer in that. So that's how I did it, basically. Yeah, I think that answers the question. So yeah, I didn't go to like makeup school or anything like that. And there's still a lot of technical stuff that I probably like, if I'm doing it, will figure out eventually, you know what I mean? Like I'll work through things, but I was never taught like specifically how to do certain things, which is probably why I suck at doing, you know, when you like block out your brows, I feel like I suck at that. This person said, do you get more engagement from your makeup or your paintings? I don't post my paintings. I posted that little video where I was like painting while listening to Cowboy Carter. But that's the first time I've painted in a very long time. Very, very long time. So it's something that I want to do more. I'm going to be doing it more, but I don't post my stuff. So I don't have an answer to that. I guess it would just be my makeup because that's what I do. Which do you find more satisfying on a personal level? Right now, it would be painting. Definitely more satisfying. And is the beauty content a saturated market? Yes, it is saturated. I feel like that's gotta be obvious. I mean, there's just so many people out there doing it. I've said this before, but I'm very, very lucky to have got in when I did. I was very much like behind the people. Like I was very much behind Desi, Katie, Crispy, all of those people. But I got my foot in the door like right at the right time, where I feel like if I had not done it sooner, I would have totally missed the boat, because now I do think, despite the fact that like TikTok allows for more organic growth, there are obviously people who like are still growing. It is very difficult because there are so many people. So I do think that it's saturated. That's not necessarily, you know, a horrible thing, because if you're someone who stands out, then that's great, right? Because there is a lot of the same. But yeah, there's definitely like a lot of people. Mental health in general and how you cope with everything, financial uncertainty and such. Mental health in general. I don't know how much I want to talk about that. Just because I feel like we talked about it a bit in the podcast, and if you want to like hear about that, you can go and listen. Financial uncertainty, that's kind of just something that like I've always dealt with because I don't know. My parents were both self-employed for the most part, like throughout my life, the majority of my life. They had real jobs here and there. I never considered being someone who like gets a regular paycheck. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up with it. It doesn't like freak me out as much. It's obviously like a stressful thing when you're not receiving a regular paycheck. The thing that made me feel more secure was once I started making regular money on YouTube, because you have so much more control. Before that, I was kind of just reliant on brands reaching out to me and wanting to work with me in some kind of like sponsorship. Because like obviously you couldn't monetize TikTok, you couldn't like there were other apps you couldn't monetize. YouTube is great because like you have so much control over it. So once that became like financially viable, a lot of that weight was kind of like came off of my shoulders. Now obviously it's up to you. It's up to like how well your videos are doing and how many subscribers you're getting and engagement and all of that stuff, which ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. I'd say valleys, lots of valleys. So it's still not a definite thing. Like I'm never making the same amount of money each month. You know what I mean? So like if that's something that stresses you out, you're not gonna like this. You're not gonna want to be one of these, whatever this is, YouTuber, influencer. I don't know how much that affects my mental health. I think that the amount of money that I'm making doesn't as much as worrying about the views, but I guess it's all kind of like connected, you know what I mean? Like it affects everything. So I don't know. When I think about it, I think more about like the numbers of people who are actually engaging with my stuff and not like how much money I'm going to make from it. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, a lot of questions about art. So like I have haven't carved out the time to create art. I am very rusty. This is something that I'm right now working on doing for myself. So I haven't produced anything like a finished piece or anything that I've been proud of for a very, very long time. So yeah, if anyone is interested in my art, I don't even know what it is right now other than makeup. Makeup has been my art for a very long time. So we'll just have to put that on pause. You know what I mean? Stay tuned. I love this question. Have you personally been victimized by any influencer or any tea that you can spill about encounters with horrible famous people? There's things that I could say that I'm not going to say. I don't think that I've ever been like personally victimized. I have been in situations where there was someone, this was a long time ago though. I'm obviously not going to tell you who it was, but there was someone who I followed who I really liked. Like I really thought that they were cool. And then when I was in an encounter with them in real life, I was like, you suck. Like you are the most ego-driven, self-absorbed, rude person that I've ever met. Like this is crazy. And I did not expect it. And I still feel that way about that person, although I don't think I've seen them since. So it doesn't really matter. Personally other than that, I don't think I've ever really been personally victimized. No. I've had like rude or uninterested or unwilling encounters. I've had plenty of those. And I do have tea I could spill. I do. But I'm not going to. Or I don't think I've ever had a horrible encounter with a famous person. I had one that was kind of like lackluster, but they could have been having a bad day. You know, I actually may have talked about this at some point, but I'm not gonna bring it up. If I have talked about it, someone might know, but if I haven't, then we'll just leave it at that. How has your life changed since you gained popularity? How has it stayed the same? I don't even know, like, I think I talked about this a bit. When my channel blew up during the pandemic, I started getting a lot of viewers, I started getting a lot of subscribers, and that was a lot for me. I kind of went from like hoping that people would watch my stuff, till all of a sudden people were, which was very overwhelming to have that many eyes, especially I think during the pandemic, because like I was just at home, you know, which was great for my business because I was just working and people were watching my stuff. That was amazing. But I was very much like in it, you know, and seeing all of the comments and stuff. I would say at that point in time, because of how many views I was receiving and comments and things, I really like pulled way back. I've talked about this before, but like if anyone followed me on Instagram for a long time, I was way more active. Like I was doing live streams on Instagram, I was posting all the time, I was in my stories, talking to people. And when my channel blew up, I stopped doing that, like completely. And I really haven't started again. Like sometimes I'll dip my toes in. I guess just like social media in general is just like kind of a lot. And when you're when it is your work, you're not as interested in like interacting with it, you know? Like I'm always doing stuff for social media. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm posting on things. Most of the time I post and then I'm gone. Like I'm not interested in being on. I actually have an alarm on my phone that reminds me to watch my like actual friends' Instagram stories so that I can keep up with their lives because I never go. I have a personal Instagram. I never go on it. Like it's very rare that I go on it. So yeah, in terms of like interacting with social media, now that it's just so much of my life and it has been, I'm not interested in that at all. Other things that haven't changed, I'm still like such a loner. That has not changed at all. Such a loner, such an introvert, still kind of like hate events, like dread them, but also like it's an ego boost to be invited, you know what I mean? It's like I want to be invited, but I also really don't want to go. That's still the same. I do get to meet you guys on the street sometimes. That's cool. That's very different. I didn't think that would happen. So that happens sometimes. That's really cool. Cause like I've never had a bad encounter in that. Well, I had one weird one. But all the other ones have been great. You guys are all fucking awesome. Okay, just a couple more because my battery is dying. Who inspired you to create your YouTube channel? I always felt like I needed to. I kind of always felt like I needed to do things that other people were doing because it seemed like forever people were doing the same thing in this career. You kind of look to other people and like what they're doing. So like I remember sitting down really early on and trying to film a YouTube video and I was like, there's no way I can do this. Like I just can't. I hate being on camera. So there was always kind of that like idea that like I should be doing it. And then as my following was growing on Instagram, the people following me, like you guys, were just asking me to like show how to do tutorials. That was back when people watched tutorials. They wanted to see how I was creating looks. So that's why I did it. Basically, oh, my battery's gonna die. Let me switch this, hold on. Yeah, so I started it because Instagram people were asking me to. They would always comment like, do you have a tutorial on this? Do you have a YouTube channel? And I didn't. So finally I was like, I guess I should do it. And I did it very sporadically and unsuccessfully for a very long time. And now here it is. I hate this question. How did getting the Pat McGrath eye makeup gig affect your confidence and business goals? I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. I am shaking my leg a lot. I really hope I'm not shaking the camera. I got so many, okay, this is the last thing. I got so many requests from people asking me to recreate Zendaya's Met Gala look. I don't know if they meant the first one or the second one. Which one was because the second one, can I be real with you? I just typed in second. What's her name? Zendaya Met Gala. The second one, I think, was this one. I really didn't like it. And I love everything she wears. Her makeup usually is perfection. Her looks are usually perfection. I'm not even really hating on the dress, but the makeup, I really didn't like it. I don't really want to recreate it. Is that the one you guys wanted to see? Because here's the thing. If you really want to see it, I'll do it, but I'll show you how I would change it to make it better, if that makes sense. Because I really don't like it. I really don't. I don't know if that's controversial. Okay, I'll answer a couple of these from Instagram just because I totally forgot that I asked on Instagram as well. So a lot of people asked about like YouTuber finances. If anyone is very confused about like how YouTubers make money, it's AdSense, right? So like ads run on the videos, and that's how we end up getting paid. Because I get that question a lot. People are like, I don't understand. Like, how are you getting paid? Like, how do you make money? I don't get it. That's basically that. And then like for other apps, I mean, some of them are monetizing now, you know, like Instagram you can monetize now, and TikTok, like Creator Fund is, you basically make no money. But the majority of people are making their money, like influencers who are just on like TikTok, Instagram, that kind of thing. They are making their money with like sponsored posts and stuff. So like brands, again, it's advertising. Everything's advertising, okay? Everything's advertising. Ooh, do influencers give true advice? That's a good question. Obviously some. I would say a lot. You just gotta find the right ones. There are definitely a lot of influencers out there who are just saying shit for a paycheck. And to me, I feel like it's so obvious to see who those people are. I feel like it's so obvious. So like, I don't know, there are people who like are a little bit more of a personality, and I guess people like them for that, just that personality, the like character that they're putting on. Those people to me are uninteresting. I'm not interested in them. It doesn't do it for me, you know? But like there are people who like that kind of thing. So it just depends on like what you're looking for. I don't know. I feel like those people, it should be obvious. It should just be obvious who's telling the truth and who isn't, you know? I just feel like it's obvious. But yeah, there are obviously influencers who do give true advice. I would like to put myself in that category, you know? This person says olive undertones in the makeup industry, mostly not getting that they exist. That's changing. We're learning about olive undertones. Lots of brands are coming out with olive toned products, which is really nice. So it takes a minute, you know? Olive it's very tough. It's a very, very, very tough to make complexion products. We've talked about this before. I'm about to lecture this person. I'm about to lecture you. Listen, foundation is one color. It's one color. When you look at someone's skin tone, you do not see one color. Your eye kind of like creates the illusion that it's one color, but you're not seeing one color. You're seeing skin on top of veins. Oh, I just hit my mic. On top of veins, on top of blood, on top, whatever. Like there's all this stuff going on underneath, okay? Skin is not completely opaque. There's some translucence there, right? So like all of those are coming together to create your skin tone. You can't do that with foundation. Maybe someday aliens will invent it, but right now we just have one color foundations. It's really, really hard. It's really hard to create a foundation that works for olive skin without making the skin look gray. If you're looking specifically for foundations, if you're close to my skin tone, if you're looking specifically for foundations that do this well, About Face, their new foundation, they've launched a bunch of olive tones, fantastic. This one in particular, F2 olive, is really great. It's like more neutral, I would say, ever so slightly cool toned for my skin tone, but it works well. Also, Lisa Eldridge 2.5, same thing. This is more of a warm olive foundation. So it just kind of like, if you're somewhere around my skin tone, one of these is gonna work for you, all right? It's just gonna kind of like depend on which formula you like better. I mix them sometimes. So this one is a little bit more warm. This one is a little bit more like neutrally cool toned for an olive. This has, when I say warm, I mean this has like a little bit more yellow in it. I'm more of a yellow olive. So there are brands who are starting to get it. It's just gonna be slow. It's just gonna be slow. But yeah, we'll keep complaining about it and people will figure it out. Oh my God. Evelyn. I don't know if you watch my YouTube channel. Said zero representation of hooded eyes. Now all celebrities have gotten upper blepharoplasty. Blepharoplasty? I never know how to say that word. So true. So true. It is really... I mean, there are some celebrities who are good examples of hooded eyes. I always bring up, what's her face? Jennifer Lawrence. Blake Lively is another really great one. See, it's really not. Yeah, because like, for instance, if you look at old pictures of Miley Cyrus, she had hooded eyes and she got an upper bleph or whatever, and now she's got these like, I mean, like super envious like eye sockets going on, you know, like her eyeshadow looks are like amazing because of that. Yeah, I don't know. it's tough. Like, I don't know, it's tough because the fact is that hooded eyes, you just can't do certain things that other people can do, you know? Like as I get older and the skin up here starts to like fall a little bit more, it makes doing my eyeshadow a little bit more difficult, you know? So if you already have hooded eyes, like you're not doing these crazy like cut creases, you're just not, you know? So you just kind of have to like, there are examples, there are good celebrity examples, but it's true, there are fewer because it is an option. And I don't think necessarily that like people should get surgery. I understand why they do, especially if makeup is something that like eyeshadow is something that they love and they want to be able to do more, because when you have hooded eyes, you are limited. It's just a fact, you know? It sucks. Ha, this is a really great one. I'm gonna end on that. How to stay creative when the demand for content is so high. That leads me to my little announcement. Okay, so I've been talking about like, I wanna do live streaming and all of this stuff. I have all of these plans, you know. Basically, I'm going to take a little break from uploading. At least all of June. I'm going to take a break. You will not be seeing me for all of June. It might be a little bit longer. It might be a little bit longer. There's a video that I've been wanting to work on. It is geared towards beginners. It is going to be an extremely comprehensive video, but it's impossible for me to do it when I'm putting out, I was gonna say like sometimes I put out 3 videos a week. I don't know if you've noticed, my output has slowed down a little bit, and it is specifically for this reason. I need a second. I gotta take a second. I just gotta take a second so that I can work on something and then put it out there. Do you know what I mean? In the meantime, I'm also going to be working on some more art stuff because I'll be honest, I haven't felt super creative. Or if you listen to that podcast, I specifically said the fulfillment from my work has been missing for a long time, and I'm chasing that. I'm trying to find that again. So I'm going to take a little break, and I will be back. This is not one of those like, well, I mean, I guess if I wanted to just kind of like disappear, I would just like disappear. I'm not disappearing. I'm definitely coming back. It's definitely going to be all of June. It may be a little bit longer. If it ends up being a little bit longer, I will post something in my community tab letting you know. I may potentially, I'm going to kind of like follow my feelings on this, throw updates on Instagram and things. So if you follow me in any of those places, just keep an eye out. You know, you may see a little update. In the meantime, I got a ton of videos, dude. Go back and watch some old ones. You may have missed them because YouTube sucks at telling people about them, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I'm taking a little break. Okay, it feels weird to say because I don't think I've ever taken more than like 2 weeks off. And when I have taken 2 weeks, I'm usually like filming or editing, you know, even if you're not seeing uploads, I'm working during those 2 weeks. So I'm taking some time. And everything is going to be fine. Okay? In the meantime, please comment on any of my videos. I will still be checking comments and stuff, you know, occasionally, for anything that you want me to come back and film, or if there's something specifically that you want like an extremely in-depth long video on, because that's what I'm going to be working on while I'm gone. Again, for beginners, because I've been promising this. I've mentioned it here and there. Some people have said, like, this sounds interesting. I'm interested. I want to see this. I'm taking the time to work on it. Okay? So that's that. That's it. It feels weird. It just feels weird. It feels weird to say and to actually do. I'm going to be gone. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. You can leave, I guess, any of your like suggestions for videos that you want to see when I come back. You can leave them in this video. Actually, you know what? That's probably the best thing. Just leave them under this video and I'll come back and like check the comments for ideas or whatever. But yeah, check out my old stuff, dude. I don't know. I've just been talking for a really long time. I need a break. I'm tired. I love you. I will be back. I pinky swear. And I'm gonna go.